There comes a point in your life when everything feels unsettled, like you're standing at the edge of something invisible, not quite sure what it is, but you can feel it's big. You can't explain it, but your spirit knows something is shifting. And if you pay attention, if you slow down enough to look beneath the noise, you'll see the signs. Because when God is preparing to give you something big, something life-altering, heart-stretching, soul-realigning, He doesn't just drop it out of the sky. He gets your soul ready first. He whispers through moments, and if you're watching, you'll see them. The storm doesn't stop. It intensifies. When God is about to elevate you, the first sign is that everything around you starts to shake. Not a little tremble, but a full-on life-quaking storm. It might feel like you're losing control. People you thought would never leave start to drift. Plans you were confident in begin to fall apart. Things that used to be easy become complicated, and you ask, why now? Why is everything collapsing when I'm trying so hard to move forward? But the answer is this: collapse is often the first phase of construction. Before God can build something massive in your life, He needs to tear down what can't hold the weight of your next season. The pain you feel? It's not punishment. It's proof that something is being removed so something greater can be established. Trust the shaking. It means the ground is being made ready. You begin to feel like no one sees you anymore. Suddenly, you're alone. Not necessarily physically, but emotionally, spiritually. The people who used to call don't. The support you relied on vanishes. You might even feel misunderstood by the very people you thought were your tribe. And here's the hard part. God lets this happen, not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants you to sit still long enough to hear only Him. When God has something big for you, He sometimes pulls you out of the spotlight. He draws you into isolation, not to harm you, but to hide you. He knows the world's noise can drown out His voice, so He turns down the volume and puts you in the wilderness for a while. It's not exile, it's intimacy. Solitude is where He rewrites your identity, where He detoxes your spirit, where He shows you who you truly are, not based on applause or titles or who's around, but based on who He made you to be. Delay becomes the uncomfortable rhythm of your life. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've waited, you've done everything right, and still nothing moves. Doors remain shut. Emails don't come. Breakthroughs seem to skip your name. You begin to wonder if God even hears you. But here's the truth most people don't say out loud. The waiting isn't a punishment, it's a strategy. God doesn't deal in rushed miracles. He deals in right-time blessings. When it feels like nothing is happening, that's often when the most is happening beneath the surface. He's aligning hearts, shifting circumstances, preparing people you haven't even met yet to intersect with your destiny. You see delay. He sees divine choreography. And remember this: what's built slowly lasts longer. So if He's making you wait, it's not because He's forgotten. It's because what's coming is worth every second of the patience it's requiring. Your dreams start to grow beyond what makes sense. You'll be sitting there minding your business, and suddenly, bam, a wild thought enters your mind, a dream that feels way too big for your current life, a vision that scares you just enough to make your heart race. That's not ego. That's not delusion. That's the seed of something sacred. God often shows you a glimpse of your future before you're fully ready to live it. He expands your imagination before He expands your reality. Why? because faith needs something to reach for. He plants these divine hints in your spirit, not to frustrate you, but to activate you. You'll find yourself daydreaming about stages you haven't stepped on, rooms you haven't entered, work you haven't done yet. And if you're not careful, you'll brush it off as too much. But don't. Those dreams, they're not hallucinations. They're previews. Your future is knocking, not to rush you, but to ready you. You feel an inner pull to release something or someone. Here's where it gets deeply personal. Sometimes, just before the blessing, God asks you to let go of something you love. It might be a relationship, a job, a behavior, a way of thinking, something familiar that makes you feel safe, even if it's secretly stunting your growth. And this part hurts because you don't always understand why. You want to hold on. You want to carry it all into your next chapter. But here's what's true. God doesn't ask you to let go unless He's making space for more. And often, the blessing isn't delayed because God is slow. It's delayed because we're still gripping what we were supposed to drop. So if He's pressing your heart to release something, even if it makes no sense yet, listen. The letting go always precedes the lifting up. And whatever He asks you to place on the altar, He will either return resurrected or replace with something unimaginably better.